Now tuned in to the show where you learn the discipline to show up day after day, to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, and the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there, even when the success you've expected to achieve as a result of your actions has yet to be achieved. And on top of all this, no, we're not done. I'm gonna give you a huge dose of personal initiative. You know what that is? That's that go-getter energy that moves anyone out there, including you, especially you, to go and make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. We put all this together in one bundle, one package, one philosophy, one framework. Is a book. There is a book, but this is the masterclass that is called Work on Your Game. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, and welcome to the show. Today's topic is wake up. Yes, wake up. That is the topic. I made this masterclass to help jolt you out of the sleepwalk that you may be going through in your life right now. You may be sleepwalking through your life, and I'm gonna help bring some life to your thoughts and your actions. Put some energy into your thoughts and your actions, because the reason why, because as creatures of habit and creatures of routine, all of us as human beings, we are all this. We tend to, from time to time, and some people more often than others, and some people it lasts longer than others, we fall into routines that lead us to coasting through our days. Days become weeks, which become months, years, decades, and sometimes entire lives. People just coast through their entire lives kind of on this autopilot level of energy where we're there, we're doing our thing, but we're not fully activated. We're not fully woken up. It's kind of like if you get a new credit card in the mail and then you take it to the store and you try to buy something with the credit card and it keeps getting declined. And the reason it's getting declined is because you never called the number on the back of the card to actually activate the credit card. That's what happens with a lot of people. Like the card is there, you're there, and there's money on the card and there's a available balance, but because the card was never activated, you never really get what you need to get out of it. And that's what happens with a lot of people in life. We coast through our lives, and then one day we wake up, hopefully sooner rather than later, and we realize that all this time has passed us by, all this life, all this opportunity has passed us by while we have been sleepwalking. So my goal today is to help wake you up now, whenever now is for you in your life, and you should make sure you save this so you have access to it in the future, and you can continue to listen to this over and over again whenever you need a jolt, whenever you need a smack in the face. All right, hopefully a metaphorical one, not a literal one. Smack in the face to wake, or a literal one if that's your kind of thing, to wake you up and make sure that you are fully activated, fully engaged, and making the most of your resources to get the most that you're going to get out of your life in this short opportunity in the grand scheme of things that each one of us has to do whatever it is we're going to do in this thing called life. Point number one, the topic once again is wake up. Point number one, and this is something that if you've been listening to me for any amount of time, you probably heard me talk on this subject many times. The things that you want to do in life, you must have urgency about getting to them. Time itself is infinite. All right, your time is limited. I'm pausing so you can really I want to let that one soak in. Time is infinite. All right, time was going on before us, and time will continue to go on after us. But your time is not infinite. Your time will not just go on and on. All right, your time will end, and is over. All right, there is no more after that. I talked about urgency most recently in masterclass number 1172. The topic is your lack of urgency is your biggest problem. So this is not a new concept, but if you don't remember masterclass 1172 and you can't tell me any of the 3 points that I gave you in that masterclass, and I suggest you go and listen to 1172 right now, and also check out masterclass number 408, the subject being a sense of urgency, how to develop this key success tool. I also talked about urgency in masterclass, let me see where it is, 1325, why to do things now in your life. Why to have some more urgency. I also, in masterclass number 1208, why you need to build your own platforms now. And that is not necessarily about urgency. It is, but it isn't. But it is about the urgency of building your own platform so that you can take advantage and have things in place before certain things get pulled out from under you. Like what we're going through right now in life, a lot of things got pulled out from under some people. in masterclass number 852. The subject is the habit of doing things now. So you notice that, and also masterclass 843, just a week and a half earlier, how to start living your life right now. Masterclass 745, why you need to quit right now. Do you understand that I've been talking about the masterclass 213, the power of doing it now. I've been talking about this now, urgency, getting to things and getting them done many times here on this show in the past, and I'm going to talk about it again in the future, and I'm talking about it right now in the present. Why? Because many people's biggest problem, as I just told you, I just referred to the class where I said it, many people's biggest problem is that they have no urgency about getting things done. They have no urgency about achieving the things that they say they want to achieve. And this is something that really baffles me sometimes when I'm listening to people talk. They say that they want to achieve A, B, and C. And I'm like, okay, well, and I'm looking at their actions and I'm wondering, or sometimes I'll be having a conversation with them. All right, well, when are you going to take the first step to get there? When are you taking the next step? When are you taking the next step? Why is it taking you so long to get this thing done? It should take you one day, but is it taking you a month? What is the holdup? Why is there no urgency? And the reason why there's a holdup, and people usually, and I mean, human beings are usually pretty smart. By the time we reach adulthood, we're pretty smart and good at rationalizing any of our weaknesses. We get good at rationalizing them. We get good at crafting stories in our minds that make us feel okay, at least temporarily, about things that are not ideal in our lives. Because the other side of that, if we were to not rationalize things that are not okay in our lives, it'd be hard for us to sleep. It'd be hard for us to do anything other than go fix those things. Well, let me tell you a secret. If you stop rationalizing the things in your life that are not ideal, you stop telling yourself a story that makes it okay, and you stop allowing yourself off the hook by telling yourself those stories and allowing those rationalizations, then you have no choice but to do the other thing, which is address those situations, address those circumstances, and do something about them, which may be uncomfortable. It may cost you something, maybe some investments that you're going to have to make those changes. But would you rather make those changes and have the life that you want, or at least get towards the life that you want, or do nothing, continue rationalizing, and then one day when you finally wake up, realize like, damn, I had an opportunity to do something about that 10 years ago. I could have did something about that a long time ago. I could have did something about that period, but now here I am on my deathbed and I'll never get to do anything about it. Which one would you rather have? Now this is, there's only so much that I can offer you in terms of motivation, if you want to call this that, or you want to call it inspiration, or whatever you want to call it. There's only so much that I can say to you. I can talk to you all day, but you at some point have to make the decision that you're going to move yourself to action. And hopefully, if you've been listening to this show, I've been helping you get towards that, because the fourth principle of this Work When You Gain framework is personal initiative. Your willingness to go and make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. A lot of people in life are waiting for things to happen. And that's why the subject is wake up. The things that you want to do, if you keep waiting for them to happen, they probably won't happen, because there is no, the last time I checked, besides in the Disney movies, there are no fairy godmothers that are going to just come up and just solve all your problems for you with a wave of a magic wand. All right, you are going to have to do something about it. Time is infinite. Your time is limited. Youth is not an excuse. If you're listening to this right now and you're a teenager, or you're in your early 20s, or you have a lot of people around you in your life who are older than you, or maybe you're listening to me and you know that I'm older than you, and you're like, well, Dre, you're this age and I'm my age. If we subtract, I got that many years to even get to where you are right now. I got time to finally get to it. Youth is not an excuse. Let me tell you why youth is not an excuse. One reason is nobody guarantees that you're going to make it to the number that I'm at, or the number that your parents are at, or the number that some older person that you know is at. Nobody guaranteed that you're going to get there. Just because you're 19 now doesn't mean you're going to make it to 25. Doesn't mean you're going to make it to 40. Does not mean you're going to make it to 60. Nobody guaranteed that. I don't know who told you that. I don't know why you're thinking that, but that's inaccurate. That's an inaccurate way of thinking. Just go on Google, go look up anybody who died at age 19. All right, there are plenty of them. Time itself is infinite. Your time is limited. Right, I'm going to keep saying that. Youth is not an excuse, because your current opportunity, here's the other reason why youth is not an excuse. Your current opportunity at age 20, at age 32, at age 16, the opportunity that you're looking at right now may be the only time you ever have that opportunity. Oh, but you think because you know somebody who's 10 years older than you and they have the same opportunity you have right now, that when you get to their age, you'll get that opportunity again too, right? Wrong. Everybody's life is unique. And again, in order for you to get that same opportunity that person has at 29 and you have now at 19, well, first of all, you got to survive the next 10 years. All right, and who guaranteed that that's going to happen? All right, you've been in planes, you've been in cars, or you crossed the street. All right, you ever been in a mall with a bunch of strangers who you don't know? Or who guaranteed that you're going to make it through the next 10 years unscathed? The opportunity that you have right now may be the only one you get. So if you blow this one, you won't ever get it again. It is not guaranteed to present itself again. Now, I just told you the episodes on urgency that you need to go and refer yourself to. Rewind this and make sure you get all of them, because I listed a whole bunch of them. Make sure you refer yourself back to those episodes, because there is no greater tragedy, ladies and gentlemen, than missing out on an opportunity, not because you didn't have a chance at that opportunity and not because you were unaware of the opportunity. It's not too good to miss out on those, like not getting a chance or not knowing about something and only finding out later. But those sometimes we could rationalize those away. Well, I didn't really get a chance. Nobody called me. Nobody really gave me an opportunity, or I didn't know about something. I mean, if you don't know about something, you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. But the worst way to miss out on an opportunity is when you know about it and you had time to get to it, but you didn't do anything with it. You didn't do anything with it because you felt like you could take your time. You felt like you could eventually get to it. You were sleepwalking and you didn't have a sense of urgency about it. So then later on, when you finally realize, man, that opportunity is not coming around again. The one that I thought I would be able to get back to over and over and over again, it ain't coming around again. I will not get that chance again. When you finally realize that, you're like, damn, maybe I should have did something about that back then. And then you become the older person who's telling the younger people, like, hey, make sure you take advantage of your opportunities. Don't make the same mistakes that I made. I'm sure everyone who's listening to this, at some point in your life, you had somebody give you that lecture or some form of it. Everybody. So if you're a younger person right now, let's say under the age of 25, maybe you have people telling you that these days at your age. They're telling you, hey, don't make the same mistakes that I made. Don't miss out on opportunities like I did. Don't sleepwalk through life and have a sense of urgency and get things done now. Maybe you hear people saying that to you now. Maybe I'm the first one to ever say it to you. And if you are older, let's say you're 25 and up, when you were younger, or maybe even still to this day, you had or have people who have come to you and said those things to you, right? Don't mess up like I did. Don't make the mistakes that I did. I remember when I was playing ball, when I got out of college, I remember, or during the years that I was in college, and I would be back home playing ball at the playgrounds, and I'd be telling the older guys who I'd grown up playing against, yeah, I'm in college and I'm playing college ball, and they be praising me for going to college and getting out of the neighborhood and going to play ball. And I told them, yeah, I want to play overseas and things like that. And I can't tell you how many times one of them would say to me, listen, don't mess up like I did. Don't get injured playing out on the playground, or don't mess up in school and then you got to come back home and you're back in the hood and you ain't got nothing going on. Don't make the same mistakes that I made. I had so many older guys tell me that, especially in basketball, but just in life in general. All of us have heard it, right? So since you've heard it before, this is not the first time somebody has given you this. I'm going to remind you that you've heard it before. I'm going to remind you that it's real. And I'm just giving you some logical reasons to understand why you really need to believe it, not just let it go in one ear and out the other. I know it sounds good, but you really need to take heed to it and do something with it, because the opportunity that you think will come around again next year or next month or 5 years from now, again, that opportunity may change. Life is changing faster right now than it has ever changed before. And you probably don't know that because you're not old enough to even notice, but I'm telling you. So take my word for it. So unless you think I'm lying to you, take my word for it and understand that life changes quickly. So the things that you think will come around again, all right, those things may not exist anymore by the time you think they're coming around. Point number 2. Today's topic is wake up. Point number 2, you are better off doing nothing than doing things without full focus. In other words, you're better off, if you're going to do something, let's say it this way, put your full focus and all of your resources into it. Because if you're not going to put all your resources and your full focus into something, that means you're going to half-ass it, you're going to halfway do it, and you're not going to get much of a result out of that anyway. So you might as well not do anything. You might as well just save your time and save your effort and energy until you're ready to put your full force into something, because that's the only time you're going to get the best results out of it anyway. When your focus is split, doing what people like to call multitasking, no matter how good you think you are at multitasking, which we know is a myth, it's not actually a real thing. Even when you're doing it or you think you're doing it, you are at less than full capacity when you're multitasking, which means, let me tell you what's going to happen. Your results will be less than your best when you're multitasking. I mean, I think everyone can agree that you will get better results when you are solo tasking than multitasking. Can we agree? The reason why people multitask is not because they think, or you think, if you're one of the culprits, that you can just do two things great at the exact same time. The reason you multitask is because you want to get two things done at the same time. It's not because you think you're great at both of them while you're multitasking. It's just you want to get them done. You want to get as much done as you can in a shorter period of time as possible, which I respect that idea. I respect the idea and the energy that leads to that action. But the problem is you can't be faulty in your execution of this, I guess we can call this a strategy. Multitasking is a bad strategy. And I've explained to you many times on the episodes on focus why multitasking is not actually going to work for you. Most recently in masterclass number 1193, focus being the force multiplier. And also 10 days earlier, masterclass number 1183, focus is easy, it's distraction that is hard. And in masterclass 1165, where to focus at in your work and your life. Masterclass number 966, how to stay focused through boring, repetitive work. I got so many masterclasses on focus, I'm not going to list them all, but I just gave you 4 that you need to refer to right now. And again, if you're in the game group membership, which if you're listening to this, you are, you can go to the masterclass master list, and you can just use the search function on your browser. You can search through for keywords on any topic that I have referred to in the past. Understand something. You will never reach your full potential in anything if you are only giving partial focus and thusly partial effort. Now, you can't give full focus to something that you're not giving your full effort to, and you can't give your full effort to something that you're not giving your full focus to. They work together. They're a package deal, effort and focus. So if you want to reach your full potential at anything, you got to put your full focus into it. You can't be doing two things at the same time. I talked about this when I saw, when was this? Maybe by the time you're listening to this, I would say maybe a year ago, a little bit more or less rather. Damian Lillard, the basketball player for the NBA's Portland Trail Blazers, was making rap music, and he really wanted people to buy him as not buy his music, but buy into him as a quote unquote serious rapper. And I didn't buy into him as a serious rapper. I went and listened to a couple of his songs, and Damian Lillard is not a good rapper. And Dame, if you're listening to this, don't take it personal. I mean, you're a professional basketball player, and that's why you play basketball for a living and you're not a rapper. There's a reason why Drake's a rapper and not a basketball player. The same reason that you're a basketball player and not a rapper. He's not good. Because the people who are actually good at rap, you know what they do all day? While you're in the basketball court gym, while you're in the basketball gym training, Dame, you know what they're doing? They're rapping. All right, and that's what you're not doing. And that's why when you give your part-time attention to rap, you're not good at it. In the same way that if a rapper tried to play basketball, all right, same way I don't want to watch Drake play basketball, I don't want to listen to a basketball player rap. And I'm bringing this up because Damian Lillard, while he's doing this, he's doing like a whole media campaign. ESPN put him on the cover of their magazine. Like, yeah, Damian Lillard is a serious rapper, and there were several writers who, I mean, the writing world, the media world is a lot different now than it used to be when people would be a little bit more objective and they would give more of their real opinions. But these days, the only way that you can get access to someone, let's say like a basketball player, is you got to kind of say some things that they want to hear. You're a little bit too critical of them, they will never talk to you. Therefore, you can't get the exclusives, you can't get the articles, you're not going to get the clicks and the likes and all that. And you might end up losing your job because you can't get close to any athlete to get any exclusive articles. I talked about that in the masterclass on Stop Watching the News, because a lot of you think that journalism and the news is driven by, that was masterclass number 1474, less than a week ago. Y'all think that it's driven by people just giving you objective information, and absolutely is not. It's driven by people just trying to get attention. And that's what it is. If you get attention, then you're looked at as good in the journalist's office. But if you're not getting any attention to your articles and your pieces, and that you won't get any if you're trying to write a story about Damian Lillard, but Damian Lillard won't talk to you because you were critical of his rapping skills, then that could cost you your career. So several journalists came and they were writing these stories about how Damian Lillard is this serious rapper. And they were doing these long feature articles about Damian Lillard, the serious rapper, and how he's connected to his hometown and everybody respects him where he's from and all that. And listen, I respect the fact that people respect him where he's from. He's a very successful basketball player. That's why they respect him. And so then when he decides to rap, nobody's going to say, well, Dame, you're kind of trash at rap, because probably everybody in his circle is telling him he's good. Nobody's going to tell him, nobody's going to say that he's bad. He put his music out and he gets all these views on his YouTube and all these streams on Tidal. Where's the the objective proof that says that he's bad. Well, music is art. It's subjective. So my opinion is he's not good. But see, the difference between me and the people who write for ESPN and Yahoo Sports is I don't need to be cool with Damian Lillard to do my job. They do. So I'm telling you all of that to tell you this. Dame went on, he's doing his media tour. He went on a podcast and someone asked him, well, how do you think you compare to somebody like Shaq? Because Shaq's another guy who was a basketball player who rapped. And Damian Lillard said, well, Shaq was like a basketball player rapper. Damian Lillard, I'm like a real rapper. I just happen to play basketball. He didn't say it in those exact words, but that was the message that he was getting across. He was like, well, Shaq was like a basketball player rapper. People didn't really take it serious. Me, I'm like a serious rapper. And Damian Lillard, he really wants people to think that he's a serious rapper. And again, most of his fans and his friends in the media who have to be his fan in order to do their job, they co-sign this. I do not co-sign it. And I wrote an article that said this much when this happened. So I want y'all to understand this is not something, this is not revisionist history. I'm not just coming up with this position because to support my point here today. I said this months ago. When Shaquille O'Neal was rapping, he was not winning championships in the NBA. He was losing. He was getting swept out of the NBA playoffs. You can go look it up. When Phil Jackson took over the job in the Los Angeles Lakers, where Shaq was playing with his teammate Kobe, Phil Jackson said to Shaq said this himself, this is how I know. Phil Jackson said to Shaq, all Michael Jordan did was play basketball. And Michael Jordan got 6 championships. You ain't got none. So what I need you to do, Shaq, is just play basketball. Don't do a movie. Don't make a rap song. Don't be doing anything other than your full-time job, which is play basketball. Shaquille O'Neal won the next 3 championships. Now, maybe it's a coincidence. Maybe Kobe got a little bit better. Maybe it was Phil Jackson. Maybe it was just Shaq's time. I don't think it was a coincidence. Damian Lillard, he hasn't won any championships. And as long as he's trying to be taken seriously as a rapper, I don't think he's going to win one. No one has ever multitasked and dominated at a level that high. Professional basketball, your competition's too good. All right, Damian Lillard's a damn good basketball player. I don't think he's going to reach his full potential in basketball while he's still trying to rap. That's the point that I'm making here. All right, nobody's that talented. All right, you're not that talented. I'm not that talented. Nobody is talented enough to be splitting their focus between through more than one thing and dominated any of them. Nobody is that good. Michael Jordan wasn't that good. Shaquille O'Neal was not that good. And both of them were better than Damian Lillard. All right. And Kobe Bryant tried to rap. All right. And Kobe ain't win no championships when he was rapping. All right. He won some championships when he was doing nothing but playing basketball. Kobe, Jordan, and Shaq are all better than Damian Lillard at basketball, but he thinks he's going to rap and still be a great basketball player. Well, it depends on your definition of great. Is he going to win a championship rapping? No. That's just my opinion. But if I'm wrong, you tell me. The best performers in the world that you've heard of at anything, I'll tell you one thing they all had in common. They were all fully focused on that thing. That's how they got there, by being fully focused on that thing. Not on 2 things, not on 5, not on 10, on one thing. That's how they mastered it. If you want to be great, you want to go down as great at anything, pick something. All right? Not things, plural with an S. No, singular. Pick something that you're going to be great at. You cannot be great at multiple things at the same time. Nobody's done it. Deion Sanders was my favorite athlete before I really got into basketball. Deion was okay at baseball. He was great at football. Deion's a legend in football. He was okay in baseball. Now, he was not great at both. Point number 3. Today's topic is wake up. Third point is this. There are things on the to-do list of your mind that you have every intention of getting to, but you have no plan and no strategy whatsoever for getting to them. Now, when I say the to-do list of your mind, I'm not talking about go get the car washed or clean out the garage or call your grandma to say hi. I'm not talking about that stuff. I'm not talking about tactical, everyday, little things. I'm not talking about those to-do list things. I'm talking about the big picture life stuff that you really want to do with your life in general, but you have not gotten around to it because every day is taken up by you doing all the little things like cleaning out the garage, washing the car, and calling your grandma. It's taken up by those little things, so you never get around to the big things. That's the to-do list that I'm talking about, the big thing to-do list, or some people call it the bucket list. Let this point that I'm giving you here be a reminder to you. Your time does not go on forever, and another thing is, your time itself is not waiting for you to get your shit together. And I'm pausing there on purpose because I want that one to sink in a little bit deeper. Time does not go on forever. Not for you, it doesn't. It might go on forever, period. Not for you. All right, you won't be around to see it. And time is not waiting. At the same time, the time that you have is not slowing down, waiting for you to get your shit together, and then they'll go at regular speed again. All right, it doesn't work that way. So either you're going to get your shit together and do something with the time that you have because it's not slowing down, or you won't. I mean, it's one or the other. I mean, you can rationalize not ever getting to it, or you could do something about it. What I'm giving you here today is a reminder of this. Again, I'm not coming to you believing that I'm the first person to ever say this to you. I'm probably the first one to say it to you in this way. Or maybe you heard me talk about it before, but I'm going to talk about it again. Now, this is not the last time I'm going to talk about this topic. I guarantee it to you right now, okay? Time will leave you behind, ladies and gentlemen. It will leave you behind. It never slows down. It doesn't speed up either. It goes at the same pace consistently forever. And it will leave you behind. Put your focus, this is my call to action to you. Put your focus into something that will make a real difference in your life, not just into the little things that accumulate and suck up all the equity out of your life, such as these little tasks that you find yourself doing all day. You got a long to-do list right now. Look at your to-do list, because I know a lot of you got them. Look at your to-do list and all the things that you got to do today or tomorrow, or the things you got in your head to do. Look at everything on that to-do list and answer this question, not to me, but to you. How many things on that list would actually make a real change in your life, would make a real impact on your life or on anybody else's life in the world? How many of them? You can probably count them on your hand if you got all 5 fingers. And it's probably not even, you probably don't even need all of them. Most of the rest of them are maintenance type tasks. They're things that allow things to keep going as they go. I'm not saying you got to throw them all away, but how many things do you have on your to-do list that are actually making a real impact on your life or the life of anyone else? Probably not many. I just want you to think about that and why that is, and maybe what you could do about it as we recap this topic, which is the subject today: wake up. This masterclass is created to help jolt you out of your sleepwalk through life, because I know you may be sleepwalking, and bring some life to your thoughts and your actions. We are creatures of habit. We fall into these routines and we coast through our lives. Then one day we wake up, hopefully one day we wake up and realize that time has passed us by. Hopefully it doesn't come to that for you. My goal today is to wake you up today. Point number 1. The things that you want to do, you got to have some urgency about them. Time is infinite. Your time is limited. Youth is not an excuse, because your current opportunity, you may never see it again. See my episodes on urgency and doing things now. Again, go into gang group membership, see the masterclass list, use the Command F search function on your browser and look through everything, and make sure you listen to those masterclasses more than once. You thought you had time, you do not have time. Point number 2, you're better off doing nothing than doing things without full focus. Shaquille O'Neal tried to rap, didn't work, and while trying to dominate in basketball. Kobe tried to do it, didn't work. Both of them stopped rapping and they started winning championships. Michael Jordan never tried to rap and he won a lot of championships. Damian Lillard's trying to rap, he ain't even won a championship yet. You think he's gonna win one while he's rapping? I doubt it. I'll take money on that bet. People who reach the heights of achievement in anything that they do so not by dividing their focus. The world is too big and everyone else is too good for you to win like that. Nobody is talented enough to dominate anything when their focus is divided. The best performers you have ever heard of or seen were all fully focused on the main thing. That's how they got there. And you are probably not talented enough to break that cycle. Point number 3, there are things on the to-do list of your mind. I'm talking about the big picture stuff that you want to do, you have every intention of doing, but you have no plan, no strategy of ever actually getting to them. Now, I'm not talking about getting your car washed or cleaning the garage. You got plenty of plan for doing the small stuff. When are you going to make a plan for doing the big stuff? Let this point be a reminder that time does not go on forever, nor does it wait for you to get your shit together. It will leave you behind in the dust, and the vultures will pick your bones clean. Put your focus into something that will make a real difference in your life, not just on doing all the little things that accumulate and suck up all the equity out of your life, so that you actually have a life. Work on your game. Dre, all